now tuned in to The Real and the Raw with Queen Renny.
Welcome back, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to The Real and the Raw. It's your girl, Queen Renny. Okay, so last week I wasn't able to put out my video. So, okay, let me give you some background. I was going to put up a personal video, like no editing, nothing like that. I was just going to post a video, and it just didn't work out. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I know we were kind of choppy for a minute because we took a break, and then we had one episode, and then I had uploading issues. But I am back, and I also have an announcement. So this is the season finale of The Real and the Raw. Yes, we are wrapping up season 1 with 6 successful episodes. So round of applause. Now, I know, some of you guys may be like, what? Well, you just went on a break. But the point of this break, ending season 1 with these 6 episodes is so that we can start to prepare and get onto Apple Podcast and also begin recording season 2 episodes so that we can just make sure they're coming out, you know what I mean, without any mishaps. Because what you guys may not have realized is because this was like let's do this, let's make it happen right away. We were recording episodes weekly and then putting them out weekly. So now we'll actually have a chance to pre-record and then just put them out every Thursday. And it'll be, between 6 and 7 episodes in season 2 also. So stay tuned. But thank you guys for all of the love and the support. Man, I don't know. I can't say it enough. From the repost on social media to the comments to people just wanting to put the link in their bios. Like, I appreciate you guys on the highest level. So even though we are going to take a break until about mid-January until we get season 2 ready, I may post 1 or 2 personal videos over this break. But you got to stay tuned to find out. Okay. So anywho, I hope this week was nothing but success for you. And if it wasn't, I'm sending all the love and positivity your way. So let's get started with my favorite part of the show, the real read back. So I'm on the YouTube, and I actually got it right this time, you guys. I did not get any emails. So I know before I said that, and I ended up getting it wrong, but I didn't get any emails, okay? So from the last show, we talked about the situation with Alexis Crawford. That was the student at Clark Atlanta University who was murdered by her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend. So that's what these comments may be about. So Nydia Torres, hi Nydia, I miss you. So Nydia said, finally found a perfect time to listen to your podcast. She is a mom of 2, you guys. And so she said the perfect time for her is mornings at 6 a.m. And then she said, keep me informed. So thank you, Nydia, for your comment. I will do my best to be keeping you guys informed on, just things that are going on in life. But that's crazy, the fact that 6 in the morning, because I'd be knocked out at that time. But go ahead, girl. Poet Girl 2002 said, this is Amaria. Oh, okay, you guys. So I wasn't sure who Poet Girl 2002 was this whole time, but they've been consistent with their comments. And come to find out, it's my cousin Amaria. So hi, Amaria. Thank you. She said, great podcast as always. Keep up the good work. God bless you. Oh, God bless you too. And thank you for always tuning in. So that was actually it for today. Last episode, which I'm not sure everybody's had a chance to watch yet, because I've been getting messages on people talking about, I'm just catching up, and that's fine. That's why we're taking this break. But it was a touchy subject, and it was kind of hard to handle. So I don't even know how much I wanted to kind of dive into comments and stuff on that one, because it was tough. But today is going to be a little lighter. Thank the Lord. I don't have any murders or anything scandalous to talk about. Today's topic is actually going to be about how to get your money right. So with the holiday season in full effect and a lot of us waiting, on tax returns or planning for 2020 to be like our year, I thought it would be good that we talk about finances, because I see and hear a lot of folks talking like they're going to make that change come a new year, but it never actually happens. And I think, and you know, not to throw shade, I think that's something that a lot of us has dealt with, you know, saying like, oh, in this new year, this is going to happen, or I'm going to change this, or I'm going to be like this, or this is going to happen for me. But we actually haven't properly prepared ourselves to do those things. So today we will have a guest on that specializes in this area and is going to give us all some tips and information on how to not only save money, but the importance of credit and how to build credit and also how to build up your finances. So today we will have a guest on that specializes in this area and is going to give us all some tips and information on how to save, how to build your money, the importance of credit, and how to build your credit. So without any more blabber, please welcome on Ariyan Miller. Okay, Ariyan, go ahead and give them your background info and tell us pretty much how you got to where you are now.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Ariyan Miller, the Millennial Mindsetter. That's what I like to call myself. All right. So I'm 24 years old. What I do is I specialize in motivating millennials to make, manage, and maximize money. We do this through life insurance, credit, and real estate. Our ultimate goal is to encourage people to rid the generational cycle of poverty and create the generational cycle of wealth. I began doing this well, my mom, everything that I do, my mom does.
Oh, wow.
And she's been doing it for basically forever, as long as I can remember. So ultimately, it's just kind of a seed that's been planted into me, and I've been able to watch someone do it by example. So I know how to do it. It just comes natural to me to help people with these things, to do these things for myself, and to just encourage the people to understand and be excited about financial literacy. It's not boring. It's not hard. It's something that we have to do if we want to basically create a better life for ourselves beyond materialistic things.
That's
because
real.
People think that's what it's about, but it's not about that. I don't know if you guys noticed, but many times couples and families and whoever, we fight about money.
Girl.
We fight about money.
Who are you telling?
So if we basically allow ourselves to have those resources, it's not greedy, it's not anything like that. It's just something that we need to have an adequate lifestyle. If we allow ourselves to just be great and make it bigger than the materialistic things, we'll give ourselves a peace of mind and we'll be able to be just be free.
Yeah, that
just
part. Not having to feel, you know, the biggest thing for me is the financial freedom. You know, not having to feel like you're stressed all the time because you got to pay this bill and you don't know how you're going to do it, or you can't go on vacation, but you want to go on. Just all of those different things. When you start to set yourself up, you know, for success, and not just short term, but in the long term, to where, you know, you're leaving something for your family when you go. That to me is like how you make sure you are able to live the life that you've been blessed with. All right. So now that y'all have heard just how dope she is, let's get into this topic. So Ariyan, I'm going to ask you a few questions that I may have wished to know when I was younger, or just some general questions around saving money, building wealth, and credit. So that sound good to you?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All righty, here we go. So what are some tips you might have for people who are on a fixed income but would really like to start saving?
So first things first, if you're on a fixed income, that means to me that you probably have time. So you have money, but you don't have money, but you probably have time. So being that you have time, you need to use your time wisely to find ways to make more money. First things first, because just being on a fixed income will be challenging to save. And what was the rest of the question?
You know, if I'm on a fixed income, but maybe I kind of feel like I don't make enough money to save? How can I start that process with, the little that I do have?
Okay. It's crazy too because it varies by age. Every person's situation is different. But ultimately, to me, fixed income means I don't have money, but I have time. So my advice would be utilize your time to figure out how you can unfix your fixed income, how you can grow your current income to the point where you don't have to say like, okay, I'm on a fixed income. How do I save? You need to be like, I'm on a fixed income. I need to make it so that I'm no longer on a fixed income so I can save and do everything that I want to do.
No,
it's
that
about
makes
using
sense.
our time wisely because right now we're watching TV, and this is a bad habit of mine. I'm on Facebook, but I do a lot of marketing on Facebook.
Same,
but I got
same.
time.
Yeah,
Like we be like, oh, I don't have time. No, you got time.
Yeah.
But you have to use your time wisely to make your goals happen, really.
That's real. Cause I think the way at least for me, when I was younger, I was thinking of it as like, okay, I make this amount. I'm gonna save, this much, but then it wasn't realistic because then I'm dipping back in and now my savings has been depleted when instead what you're saying is I should have been focused on how to bring more money in to make room for that savings. So that's real. I feel like, sometimes we end up being focused on the wrong thing. All right. So now, what are some ways folks can maintain their savings account? So like I had just mentioned, when I was in college, I used to save money and then have to take from it because I was overspending in another area. So like during my undergrad years, which I know a lot of folks, in college is a hard time for most people financially. So, some of us may be on scholarship, some of us may not, some of us may have FAFSA, some of us may not, some may be working and some may not be. So basically my question is like, I have enough money to save, but how do I make sure I'm maintaining that savings, or how do I spend more responsibly so that I'm maintaining that savings?
I must say I agree with you. I was a full-time college student and I worked full-time and I was
Wow.
so depressed. I was so
Girl.
depressed. It was so horrible.
Top ramen every night.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was like, and then I didn't get to see my family. Anyways, that's another story for another day. But okay, so let's talk about that. So how can we So at this young age, and it's already crazy because we're already not eating.
Right.
We're eating like the bottom of the barrel food. We're already having 16 to 20-hour days because we're going to work, we're going to school, we're studying. I think my greatest advice during this stage is just keep your eyes on your why you're doing it. Sometimes if we get caught up in the now instead of why we're doing it and the bigger picture, that makes it a little more challenging. That's just like the mental side, but ultimately, I think it comes down to making a sacrifice. And we're already sacrificing so much. We're sacrificing all of our time. We're sacrificing our resources, our sleep, everything. But I think that's the ultimate thing, just being open to just make a sacrifice at that time.
Nah, I think I have to totally agree because, well, I'll add to it too. I think the sacrifice part, but also the discipline part of it as well. Mm-hmm. Because I know for me, when I was in college, I was on a basketball scholarship and received FAFSA. So my funds were taken care of. And so I was getting like thousands of dollars back each semester. Not, I never touched that much money. So I didn't have the discipline to spend wisely. And then as far as the sacrifice, I agree because I feel like it was all, the things that I were buying was all things for the moment. Like, you want to go to the movies? Yeah. You want to go out to dinner? Yeah. You want to go shopping? Yeah. Instead of being like, okay, no, I can afford to go to dinner, but I can't afford to go shopping because I need to save money for, look, the Christmas break when I'm on campus the whole time and I ain't getting no money and ain't nobody making sure I'm fed. So make sure I'm saving money for that so I'm not broke over my Christmas break instead of spending on some shoes or whatever for the moment so I look fly in college. And now when everybody else is gone at home eating good, I'm starving. So I think the sacrifice and the discipline, you hit the nail on the head with that one for sure. And I know a lot of people who tune into this podcast need to hear that as well. So, and it's not just for college students. This is for people who, are well in their 50s or just hitting their mid 20s. Like, this is valid, important information that, you know what I mean? Like Ariyan said, her mom kind of bred this into her. So it's by nature. A lot of us don't have that opportunity. So if we can start to discipline ourselves now to give our children that opportunity, man, we're going to be some wealthy Black folks and they're going to be mad. But anyways, I'm going to keep going, okay?
So I just want to add on to that. Discipline is the biggest thing that we can do. And it's the only thing that's holding us back from being great. Just being able to discipline ourselves.
Yes.
That's true. So I had to agree with you on that. It's huge. It really is.
Yeah, that's
real. Because even now, there's a lot of things that I don't spend money on. I don't like... Just certain things I just don't.
Right.
But one thing I just don't want to stop doing is like I want to eat out. Like I don't care what nobody says.
Oh my God.
I want to eat out.
Why are we the same?
I have to admit that. I have to admit it because clients are like, well, I have an appointment. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Where you going? And she's like, well, I don't want to tell you because you're going to get upset. I'm like, girl, stop it. Everybody has their own things. I'm not going to be upset, but I'm want to hold you accountable still. And I hold myself accountable too. So.
Exactly. No, that's real because I love cooking, but I love to eat out too. Like, I don't know. I love food, but I think too is where I think I've been able to kind of be, I don't know, not satisfied, but I mean, just I guess proud of my growth in this area is that I recognize that I love to eat out. So I make sure that when I budget my money, I allow myself, if, because I'm budgeting and I'm making sure everything else is on track, that I allow myself like, okay, my husband and I can go out to dinner like twice a month. Because of his schedule or whatever. So we make sure like that fits into our budget to where if we go to dinner twice a month, we ain't worried about paying rent because now we done spent you know what I mean? So I think too, like everybody has their thing that they love to spend money on. So you just have to realize like, what's the most responsible way to go about this? And I think that hits where you talked about the sacrifice and the discipline. Okay.
And one more thing.
No, go right ahead.
Sorry. My favorite my favorite savings tip, if you can't afford to buy it twice, then you can't afford to do it. So if you pay your rent and you can't pay it twice, that means you cannot buy anything else. Like, you know what I mean? That means you don't have an emergency fund.
Amen. The emergency fund.
Everything you buy.
That part. The emergency fund. Because I feel like we focus so much on getting our bank account to where we want it to be. And then something happens and we deplete it because we didn't make sure we had that, what my family calls it is the rainy day fund. So, just making sure you're covering your bases. Like, that's the biggest thing. So... Can you tell us why credit is so important?
Credit is so important because wealthy people understand and know that it is used to leverage and build more resources. Basically, that's the main reason. We know that credit is challenging. It's not even challenging. They're just out here to trick us. Right. They want us to be in debt. So I always tell people you can learn the game and play. And if you can't beat them, join them. It's that simple.
No, for real. Yeah.
So that's why credit is important because we need to beat these 99% of the population are not wealthy. 1% is.
Right.
So whatever they're doing with credit is what we need to be doing with credit.
Yep.
They use credit to build $1 million, $1 billion businesses.
Yep.
While most people are like, I ain't getting those credit cards because I ain't trying to owe nobody.
Exactly. That's what I was told.
Yep. And you have to always focus is everything, but you have to focus on the right thing. It's not about owing people. It's about leveraging these people's money, OPM, other people's money, to build your own resources and make your own money so you don't have to worry about it.
Nah, that's real. I think, and sadly, I think, the root of this comes from the miseducation of Black folks in general, and how our education system was set up. But now that we know better, we got to do better. And I think a lot of the times, Black and brown communities focus on the cash and the money and how it can get you things immediately, instead of the building your credit and recognizing that that sets you up for buying things in the long run, like buying that property, getting that storefront, being able to start that business, and so on and so forth. Like, credit is it to me. Credit is money. Like, you know what I mean? That's just the most important factor. And because it's been the hidden factor for a lot of us not recognizing how important it is, and now that it's starting to become more tangible to a lot of Black and brown folks, we got to go out there and grab those resources like while we can, and then do as much with those resources as we can, instead of limiting ourselves in the thought process of, well, now I have to owe people. And now, I don't know, if I trust this, or what are they doing? Where does this credit score come from? Or now worrying about being in debt because you took out this line of credit, which we'll kind of hit on in the next question. But I fully agree with you on the point of, if we part of the 99% and we trying to, at least get a taste of what the 1% is like, you have to study and watch what they're doing. And kind of take notes, and then you flip it and use it for your benefits, and how you want to play the game. But you can't play the game until you got all the pieces together anyway. So,
absolutely.
That's real.
So I had this conversation with my friend, and she was saying, yeah, she's my friend. I had to think about it. And she was saying how she hates credit and it's a scam and blah, blah, blah. Like I said before, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Credit is not my ish. It's not my ish. It's not my thing. But I understand the name of the game, and I understand that if you want to win, you got to play.
Yeah.
So that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And her thing was, credit is invisible money. I'm only spending the cash I got. And I was like, well, the cash you got is nothing but paper also.
Exactly. So, that's going to disappear as well.
Thing, exactly.
Yeah.
What is the paper that your Federal Reserve knows? What is it backed by?
Right. Right.
It's all the same thing. Just play the game. That's it.
Nope. That's real. And I think, to some extent, I'm all the way down to play the game. Like, when it comes to like the credit situation, there's really no way around that. Sometimes you gotta pull up a chair at their table. But in other ways, which is a different conversation, I'm like, hell no, I'm gonna build my own table and I'm gonna sit over here, because it just ain't worth, being over there with you. But you have to recognize in which cases you can be that way. In which cases you're like, no, I'm gonna build my own table, my own chair, and I'm gonna sit over there, but even if it's by myself, and I'd be damned. Or, all right, I need to pull up a chair at this table for a few minutes or so, get all the information and notes that I need, and then, choose to do what I want to do with that after that. Instead of, I think sometimes people might see it as selling out or whatever, playing their game, but hey, look, you got to do what you got to do. And then I think, to me, the biggest factor is, once you have that information and those tools, what you do with them after that is, builds, your character and who you really are as a person and what you believe in. And I think finances has a lot to do with that conversation. So let's keep it pushing, though. So when I was growing up, I was told, like, don't get a line of credit because it was bad, or I may not use it responsibly and then I'll go into debt or whatever. So what are some tips on like actually handling your line of credit responsibly? And when I say that, I mean like specifically like an actual, like, I have a credit card. And how would you, well, okay, first off, I'll say what I do, and then you can give the more professional aspect of it, because I'm an amateur and this is just what I thought of. So when I finally did take out a line of credit, I was like, okay, this is what I'll do. I set my payments to be made like 2 days after I get paid, so that I know the money is always going to be there. I know that, payment is already, automated and set, and the payment is good. And then to me, I only spend on things that I know I have the money to pay off. So like if I only have $50 to pay off on, then I'm not going to go spend $100. And now I'm wondering where that other $50 is going to come from this month. I kind of think of it as, I don't know, it's just like a checks and balance system to me. And then also, what I've learned is, not just using your credit card for things that you want and you can't afford. So I feel like a lot of us like, oh, I got a credit card now. Oh, here go them $500. You go charge it to my card, girl. And it's like, wait a minute, Susie, okay, because you don't even have $500 in your debit card account, but that's not my, whatever. So I think, we're just, for real though, just like recognizing like, am I living within my means? To me, I use my credit card as a way to build my credit. So if I want to go grocery shopping and I know I have the money in my debit card account, I may use my credit card and then pay it off as soon as I can, or, as soon as possible, whatever, because that's something that I know I can afford once. I'm not going to go broke doing it. And it's also benefiting me as well. So what are your thoughts on that?
I must say, so not my first credit card, but my second credit card, it was $5,000. And of course, I was like, this is for emergencies only. I'm not going to use this card. Look, I furnished my entire apartment, my first apartment, with that credit card. And I started my first business with that credit card. I was really on some other stuff. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And it took me a while to pay it back, but I was able to pay it back eventually. So first things first, don't do that.
Right. No, I've been there.
What I think people should do is, or what I would recommend is, pay one bill with your card. So one bill on auto pay with the card. I guess you could do like your PG&E or whatever it is, because you know you're gonna pay that.
Okay.
And then set the card on auto pay and just keep it like that. So you're always using it. It's never gonna get closed. Never close your credit card accounts.
That part.
Never close them. But I think that's the easiest way. Because otherwise, that way you don't even have to keep the card. You can cut it up or put it away.
Yeah.
You can put it away. Because when the card is in your wallet, and I know firsthand, it's like, I just used my credredit card today.
Yes, it's like having cash when you see that. No, that's real. And I think, again, when I was in college, so most of this relates to my time in college because I was, like I said, having thousands of dollars thrown at me, and I was just a little girl from Oakland. I ain't never seen that much money before, so I was just doing crazy stuff. And Wells Fargo at the time had this little college credit card account, y'all. Mm-hmm. Baby. It had like a $700 limit, but to me that was like, ooh, bang! I got $700 or whatever up in here, and I think it built itself up to like $1,000 or something like that. First, I was using it responsibly, emergencies and stuff, like you said. But then all of a sudden, I started wanting to shop and buy a new phone and all these different things. And then now all of a sudden, I'm in a hole and I'm trying to dig myself out. And so I had that is what taught me like how to be more responsible. And then, like you said, with the whole not closing the line of credit, my husband had actually told me about that maybe about a year ago. And he was saying how you keep the line of credit open so that, you have good credit history. But what he would do is get the credit cards that have no APR for the first 12 months and then use it, make sure he's paying it off. And then when that 12th month hit, he makes sure it's all paid off and then just cut it up, throw it away, do whatever. Like make sure it's in a, don't just throw it away. My bad, y'all. I mean, like cut it up or set it to the side somewhere safe. Nobody's going to touch it. And now that line of credit is open and it has good, good history on it. And I was like, oh, shoot. So when I climbed out of that hole from that college account and I went ahead and did whatever I did, I was like, dang, that could have been a up for me if I would have dealt with that responsibly and just left that open starting from college. But yeah, now I know better, so I'm just trying to do better. But I think that's real. Like, that was some knowledge that you dropped. I don't think a lot of people, that's not advertised, like that you keep the line of credit open.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. So 10% of your credit history is judged off of the length of your credit history.
Oh, wow.
So only have it open for 12 months, then that's only going to be 12 months. But if you just continue to use that card responsibly and for however long you choose to, preferably forever,
right,
you're going to have 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and just keep going ultimately.
Yeah, okay. See, that's...
Because we do get, when they close them, we get dinged in a negative way.
Right. See, that's good information because I have a good credit score. I mean, obviously I want it to be better, but I'm not at a bad score or anything. I used to be at like 529 and worked my way up to 700. And then with my me finishing grad school and the loans that I do have, as soon as they came out of deferment, it dropped just a little bit, but it's still good to me. I'm just working on getting it better. But the biggest issue for me is I don't have a lot of credit history because I waited so late to get credit. Or take things out and, get things out in my name or whatever. So now I'm focused on like making sure that I have, not crazy, not, I'm not going to go open no 5 lines of credit, but you know what I mean? Actually have credit. Like to this day, I went from 529 to 700 on a Forever 21 credit card. I have not touched, I have not touched a real credit card yet. And so now it's time for me to go ahead and do that. But I was like, let me start off in a way that I know is most responsible for me. Had this little $500 Forever 21 card, used it once a month, paid it off, never went over just made sure I put myself in the right state of mind before I actually went out and got like an actual Visa, credit, credit union, whatever you want to call it, card that I could just use on anything. Because maybe 2 years ago, I would have been buying Yeezys with that card, like, period. So I had to start slow. So what are your thoughts on that process also?
So mindset is everything. First things first, mindset is everything. And you have to be in the right mindset. And you have to be willing and open to back to what we said, be disciplined. Mm-hmm. So the question is, what is my question? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was basically just asking your thoughts on the fact that before I went out and got, and I say actual credit card, but I mean like a credit card that before I went and got a credit card that I could just use on any and everything, I got a store credit card. And I worked just dealt within that limit. And now that it's time for me to move past that because poor old Forever 21 is just not doing well right now. What are your thoughts on starting that way? Or would you recommend just going out and getting a regular line of credit from Jump? Or what are your thoughts, around store credit as your first type of credit?
What I've learned is that many people ain't even eligible to get a regular credit card. So
that's true.
We were in a good boat. I was lucky because I had braces when I was a teenager and my dad put them in my name.
Oh, that's smart.
I had a bunch of great credit history. I think the best way to start, the first way to start is if you have responsible parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, or anyone, even siblings, that are willing to put you as an authorized user on their credit card, but they must be responsible. That's the best way to start for me. Okay. You can do this for teenagers, like 15, 16, 17, 18, and then you can also do this for adults.
No, that's real. I've been thinking about that for my niece, starting something, in her name, just so that, we starting her off on the right track before she can even walk. So that's real.
For that question, it depends on the person because now you're developed, but there's no ones now and they're not developed yet.
Right.
So I've never had, I did. You know what? I did have the store credit. That was my first credit card. It was TJ Maxx.
Hello.
They gave me $300 and I thought I was so cool. I didn't use it. I didn't use it. I think I used it once and at that point I was like, I don't want to owe these people, so I ain't finna. But I used it and paid it off immediately because I was hecka scared.
Right.
So I was at that point in my life where I'm like, I'm not about to owe these people nothing. I never used it. They closed it on me. But ultimately, that is also a great start. So the store credit is just fine.
Okay.
Or like your Macy's cards and things like that. But then again, when you think about it, our goal is to use our credit card, our line of credit, to purchase things that will build assets. Anything in Macy's is not an asset.
Right.
Anything in Macy's is a liability. It's going
Right.
to take money out of your pocket, but it's not going to put money back in. Anything in TJ Maxx.
No, yeah, or Forever 21 for that matter. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. So I think you got to be thinking like that. Like, is this card going to assist me with building assets?
Okay.
If it's not, I'm going to just pass on it. And I'm going to wait until I can get a card that I can leverage these people's money to purchase something that is going to bring money into my life.
That's real. That's real. And then I think something else too, and I'll ask you this and then we'll take a quick break and then we have a few more questions for you if you don't mind. But I think something that I come to learn too is like, okay, just because I have a credit card, you know, that has a $500 limit doesn't mean that I have to spend $500 every time I use that card. Like you really, I think in my notes I have spending 10% or less of the amount that you have on that card. Like you shouldn't be spending more than half of what you have, right? Doesn't that affect your score or something like that? Or am I wrong?
It does. So the rule of thumb is 30%, but as
there we
said,
go, 30%. Okay.
All of my clients, 10%.
Right. See?
It's because if you say 30%, you're gonna go to 30%.
Exactly.
So if you do have that emergency, or if your tire does bust, you're gonna be outside of that.
Yeah.
But if you give yourself a cushion and just some type of place to fall back on, you're good.
Okay.
So that's why I think 10% is solid. 30%, you're fine. If you do 30%, you'll be just fine. Your credit score won't be affected. But you got to think about it, and is this helpful to me? And am I doing this for a reason? Am I just running that 30 because I know I can?
Hello?
Or am I doing it for a reason?
Hello, too. Yeah, that's true. And I think, too, because most of us grew up, at least for me, in a low-income, situation. So you get your hands on a little taste of something, and you don't know how to handle it. So it all goes back to that discipline. But let's take a quick sip on that, you guys, and I will be right back.
Don't wait to find what's in the past. Don't wait to see what's in love.
Okay, y'all. So we are back. For anybody who is catching the episode over their auntie's shoulder and just walked in or something like that, we are on with Ariyan Miller, who specializes in life insurance, real estate, and finances. Did I say that correctly? All right. Cool. So what we've been doing is just asking her a series of questions that pretty much just inform not only like you guys, but also me. Like I'm sitting here like taking mental notes and making sure like, okay, I definitely got to go back and watch this episode. But anyway, so we're towards the end of our harassing her with questions because she got some good knowledge, y'all. This is a young, dope, educated Black woman who was like killing the game. And like I said, multifaceted, obviously. So let's keep it going. So, what are some ways to build your credit? So I know a lot of folks don't have any credit at all. Like for a minute, I didn't have anything at all. So I know we just kind of touched on like store credit or, credit cards, but like say maybe you have some credit, but it's not good. How would you recommend building that credit?
The first thing you can do is you can get a secured credit card. It's basically a credit card that you have to put your own money down on.
Okay.
Those start at about $200. So you bring the bank or wherever you go $200, and they will open up a quote-unquote credit card for you, and you will have to use that responsibly. Typically, if you use it responsibly for up to 12 months, sometimes even 6 to 12 months, they will give you an actual credit card.
Oh, wow.
So that's your test.
Oh, wow.
They're going to test you, see if you can handle your own money, because basically that's what it is. It's backed by your own money. So that's the first way. The second way is self-lender. It's called self now, but it was previously called self-lender. Basically how it works is it's building credit and saving at the same time. You go online to the website. I can send you guys the link. I believe it's selflender.com. Or
okay,
you can
cool.
Google
Yeah,
it.
so I'll drop the link below, you guys.
How that one works is you get to pick. I think you can put up to from like 39 to $100 a month. You can save that for up to 12 months or however long you want to, and they will report that to all 3 credit bureaus.
Oh, wow.
Free. And at the end of the 12 months, you get all of your money back.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's tight. I haven't heard of that. I might have to. Yeah, that's an invest. And see, look at that. That's an investment that you're making that is literally coming back to you tenfold. Like, how could you be mad at that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you really can't be mad at that. Like, and then, so I guess a question about the secured card. So, like, you can go and get that at any time. Like, who already has, credit, I can go and go to a bank and be like, all right, I want to do this. Or is it limited to low credit or no credit?
No, anybody can get it. If you already have credit, you don't need it. But it's for people who are trying to build their credit. And I must say, not everyone can even get approved for a secure card.
Oh, wow. So
just use that to motivate you to use that to impress your self-discipline.
Right.
Self-discipline started, because they don't want just anybody borrowing money. Even if you do use your own money as a deposit, they might still turn you away, and you don't want to be that person.
That's real.
So
that is definitely real. Okay. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. I want to give you guys everything. There's also a thing called Rental Karma. Rental Karma, they will back report up to 24 months of your rental payments. So if you pay a rent on time, please, for the people who pay their rent on time, they will report 24 months of rent on your credit report and any new rent that you are basically paying. They will report your rental payments on your credit report to all 3 credit bureaus.
Wow. See, do y'all hear this? You don't see commercials about this on TV. So this is why people like Ariyan are so important, because, look, this is valuable knowledge that you may not get from, Tom, Dick, or Harry, quite honestly. Because, it's just the fact of the matter. So like she said, you got to play the game. Okay, so lastly, do you have anything you think the audience really needs to know that, like, we didn't cover?
No, but I just want to reiterate the fact that mindset is everything. And I'm not trying to sound all motivational, but then again, I kind of
go ahead.
Is the only thing that can hold you back from getting your credit right, or the only thing that can hold you back from leveraging other people's money to make millions of dollars, is your current mindset. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Like, anything you think you can't do, you can't. Period.
Nah, that's
anything
true.
you think you can do, you can.
That is very true.
It's that simple. Mm-hmm. And it's not saying without hard work and determination, persistency, consistency, all those things play a part, but that's the bottom line. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't.
Nah, that's real. I mean, even the Bible quotes on that, like, life and death lies in the power of your own tongue. So whatever you speaking and thinking, that's what's going to grow, whether it be negative or positive. And I think also, if you follow me on my social media, you've seen me talk about this before, state of mind and, what was the other one? See, I done lost my train of thought, y'all. State of mind and your mindset. And I'll explain. So what I was speaking on in that case is, like, when you have your mindset, so like your mind is set on something, right? So you're thinking about a certain topic, or you're thinking a certain way or whatever, right? So to me, state of mind, your mindset is like, I've determined and my mind is set on reaching this goal by 2020, right? So that's cool. There's nothing wrong with getting your mindset, like, together. But I think the long lasting and what your overarching goal should be as far as your mind is state of mind. your mind state, which is where your mind resides, and it stays in this state. It doesn't have to be constantly reset, or it doesn't have to, you don't have to come up with new goals to set your mind on, because it's already in this state. And what I mean by that is you've trained your mind, you've disciplined yourself enough to permanently be in a state of mind of growth, love, nourishment, furthering your opportunities, furthering your knowledge. Like, this has become who you are almost, in a sense, so that if you're in a state of mind, or your mind state is, I'm going to be financially responsible, literate, and free, that's what you're going to produce, because it's where your mind is constantly at. So you're not sitting down having to jot down little notes of what to do and how to get your mind set on achieving that goal, because everything you do has already been aligned with that. So I don't know if I'm preaching to whoever, or if y'all don't hear me if I'm making stuff up, but I just thought that was
that really makes sense. I think that was great.
Because that was just my mind. That was what I thought about it. And I don't know if you've ever followed me on social media, but if you do, then that's what you've seen me talk about before. But just a little bit of how I process things. All right, so y'all have heard it. If you have any more questions for Ariyan, I will post her contact information below, along with any links that she may have for us, with the information of the websites and things like that she brought up. And then also, Ariyan, I just wanted to thank you, for taking time out. You guys, so not only does she work in these 3 different field, she's also a mother. So, you know, she really doing it. Okay. So she could have been doing anything right now on a Monday at prime time. Like, this is 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? She could be doing anything right now. She chose to call in and be on this podcast with us. So thank you. And thank you for your knowledge that you dropped tonight. I was taking notes. I hope you guys at home were taking notes. Well, not just me and James was over here taking notes. Like, okay. And I'm just being honest. This is stuff that, like, especially for me and my husband right now, this is kind of the direction that we're trying to be in. So it's great. I also want to highlight how important it is to see a Black woman in the financial and real estate field. Like, not only just like prancing around and pretending, like, you know, taking pictures just to, you know what I mean? Like, it's because there's some frauds out there. She's really about this life. Like, I've been in conversation about real estate with her, and like, she's jumped the gun on things for us within a week. And then my life insurance, like, my first policy was because of her. So like, she's real and real genuine. She's not, you know, trying to get you for your money, trying to just set you up in any type of way. Like, she wants the best for her clients. So that, on a personal level, I appreciate as well. And then also, oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you. And then also, you know, it's very empowering. And to see that type of representation, not only for me, but for the girls coming up under us. So major props to you, Queen. And if you don't have anything else for us, I will let you move on with your day.
I want to add one last thing, or a couple things, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave you guys with this quote: "Faith without works is dead." It's one thing to believe in yourself, but to believe in yourself without action is completely pointless.
Say that one more time.
I just wanted to say that.
Say that one more time.
Faith without works is dead. It's one thing to believe in yourself, but to believe in yourself without action is pointless.
Hello, that's like praying without wanting to get up and do the work too. I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
That's like praying for an A without studying.
Hello, praying for a car without saving. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. I will be texting you. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Y'all, let's take another quick water break, because that is something I think we really need to sip on, and I will be right back.
Don't wait to find what's in the past. Don't wait to see what to love.
Whoo, I mean, baby, come on. Was that not priceless information or what? I mean, gosh, I just love to see, you know, okay, I don't want nobody thinking like it always boils down to race or anything like that. But as a Black woman myself, it is so empowering and just so uplifting to see And I say this because obviously, you know, I love our black males. I love everybody. Black, white, purple, brown, yellow, whatever. But it does something for you, like I've said before, when it's, you know, people who look like you, because then you start to believe that it's real for you and that that's something that you can achieve yourself as well. So to see her in a position of power, you know, money talks and real estate was always kind of like, Black folks were always left out of that story. And then, you know, you slowly start to see our men jumping into that world and that limelight, but you rarely see the women getting the props on, you know, and being in this field as well. So once again, props to Ariyan Miller, you guys. Financial literacy is key to generational wealth. I want to make it clear. That was the point of this, to open up our eyes and our minds to understanding that financial literacy is the key, again, to generational wealth. So, yeah, it's one thing to stack up and have a couple thousand. Now you living good, but how you gonna leave your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren? Think about that. You have to think about that. Well, I mean, I guess you don't, but hey, if you care, you will. And I mean, because why wouldn't you want, I mean, wasn't it hard enough for you struggling not having that foundation? So would you want your kids and your grandchildren to have to struggle like that when you know you have the opportunity to set them up so that they can come into something better? Right? I mean, that's my mindset and that's my goal. And, you know, I just want to inform as many people as I can on my way to getting to that destination or that state of mind and out of the mindset. So things like property, great credit, and proper savings are just a few of the ways to set you and your family up for generations. So do not sleep on getting your money right, man. I'm saying, get it right and get it tight so that you can actually go out and like love the life that you live. Like go on vacation, buy something without having to second guess it, go to dinner with friends, things like that without being tied down to the bills and the stress of paying those bills. But let me know what you guys think about this conversation. Make sure you dive into the comment section of the YouTube channel, Queen Renny Barnes, or email me at realqr@gmail.com for anything you want left anonymous, okay? And so tell me what you thought on this episode. Was this information valuable for you? Are you already doing some of these things? If so, drop some knowledge for others to hear. Like if there's something that you think we didn't touch on or some good information that you think we might need to know, please put it in the comment section of the YouTube, or you can email it to me if that's more comfortable for you. But let us know, because I feel like, you know, when we share these things, we make each other better. Or do you want to know about what I'm doing financially? Just let me know. Like I said, dive into the comments, send me an email, or my social media page. So you can hit me up on Instagram at Queen Renny _, and that's Renny with 2 N's, or on my Facebook, Sharon Darlene Barnes, okay? So I want folks to really speak their piece on this topic, because this is how we, 1, build each other up, and then 2, create a sense of community and security. So please leave a comment or a question for the next episode's Real Readback segment. Thank you. And make sure to turn on your notifications for the YouTube channel so you can find out if I post a personal video during the break. You guys, I'm going to miss you guys so much. But season 2, episode 1 will premiere mid-January. So stay tuned for promo and to see like the exact date and everything like that. So really set your notifications to the YouTube channel, you guys. Also, please have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new year. I hope that is blessed and prosperous and successful and loving and kind, and you have a lot of growth in 2020, you guys. Also, so we're going to end it the way that we always do. Now that, you know, everything is out the way and you guys have all the announcements, let's get to the Zen part. So, in the words of the late, great Sean E. Washington II and my big brother, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and reflect. Reflect on the year that you've had, the growth, the hard times, the struggles, and how it's all made you to be where you are and who you are right now. It'll all be all right. Most of the time, things work out fine if you just relax your mind. Catch us next time. Sending peace and love. Queen Renny out.